Hello.
Right now it's better.
Cool. So
Yeah, live.
we are recording now, just so we all know that.
No, that's fine.
So weird.
It's not very interesting for you, this. You want to look at Griff?
I'm wearing an
All right,
import.
Griff.
Well,
Nice.
I'll stick it that way because most people will be over there.
Right.
My circa 1977 Liverpool shirt.
I like it. Where's Anthony? Is he here tonight? Or there?
No, his text said, not done much of homework, not going to come, basically.
Oh, okay.
Which was,
Fair enough. How's my audio, by the way?
it's absolutely fine. This is delicious. It tastes like Malibu.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're having wonderful
It's just like,
refreshment.
no, it's just water, but it tastes like Malibu.
It's Volvic. I don't know. It's called cocoa pineapple,
Oh, it's the best.
which I thought was pineapple.
I'll tell you what, right? If you had that in a workplace, people would think you're drinking Malibu. They would.
It's a Volvic special for the World Cup. It's got like Brazil on it.
Very good. Speaking of the World Cup, I've just read that Stuart Pearce thinks that Joe Hart is a better penalty taker than Daniel Sturridge, and should be in Roy Hodgson's list of people to take penalties.
He was a brilliant. I think the quote from your Uncle Phil would sum up what Stuart Pearce said. Great player, manager.
Well, Stu Pearce.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Well, did you see, guys? Did you see that Pele has said that Wayne Rooney would be in his team? In his definitely like a shoe-in for any team that he picked.
I don't listen to Pele anymore.
Well, no, it's the kiss of death. Rooney's going to have an absolute mare, and England are going to go out.
Mind you, I was listening to Radio 5 Live last night, and they had don't know why, but 11 moments that shocked the World Cup.
11.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. But they were on about that Colombian fellow. Was it Esteban?
Yeah.
Pablo
Well,
Esteban that got shot.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was very interesting because they played. I hadn't heard it before, but they played an interview that he'd given saying, "Look, we're out, but it's not the end of the world. Things, aren't. There are a lot of things worse going on. We just need to move on."
Yeah.
And then it was Tino Estrella. Apparently, they've been talking, and he said to him, "Just lie low for a bit. Just stay out of the way. Don't go anywhere. Just stay and lie low for a couple of months. Just let this blow over."
Which is ridiculous anyway, having to do that.
Yeah.
You know, he sort of, and then they said he didn't heed his own advice. Went out and apparently he didn't get shot because it was like the betting cartels and drug cartels. There's a couple of fans that basically had a go at him. He sort of was defending himself, and they just shot him.
I would almost rather it be the betting cartels. I don't want to think that there being fans out there that will shoot players for scoring own goals.
So I did a terrible job of letting people know that the format is changing from this month.
That's all right. Have you told them now? Oh my God, look at that.
We have oil au lounge.
Oh, good.
So whilst we're not starting, I'll explain what's changed and what I haven't told you. So, as you all know, we rabbit on about things that aren't necessarily part of the homework for probably too long, and then don't talk as much as we perhaps should about the things we've actually spent time researching, if you like. So, just now had a bit of a conflict, and we thought what we'd do is we would split it up into. First of all, we'll have we're going to do question of the week first?
Yeah.
No, highlight of the month or something. What was it?
No, I think we should do question first.
So we'll have a slightly, we'll have a question of the month, okay, which we will discuss amongst ourselves. Now, the idea is that we publish that question of the month beforehand. So at least you can think of something amusing to say, even if you don't care about the question itself.
Kind of like fighting talk, where you think they're actually doing ad hoc, but they all know the question.
Yes, exactly. So the theory is, at least that's exactly right. But we obviously haven't done that, so it'll be crap, and we'll go around. We'll all give our one-word answers to the question, and then we'll move on. So we're going to do that first, and then instead of going through everything we've seen, done, and read, and we will pick a highlight of the month to talk about. One thing. That doesn't mean you can't mention other things.
Yeah.
You might say, oh, by the way, you want to do this because brilliant. But really have to think about what you want to talk about. And then we should have the time to at least spend a few minutes on each one of those if we're going off, 4 or 5 people here. So that I think will work a little bit better.
So, Andy,
just
to interrupt for a second, I think we should do our highlight of the month. Everybody have a highlight of the month, and then you can have honourable mentions. Like you said, you can mention other things, but let's restrict that to maybe with maximum of 3 honourable mentions.
Yep. Cool. So, but I think we'll do before we go into the highlight of the month, we'll do one of the pieces. So we'll do question of the week, month, one of the homework bits, highlight of the month, and then remaining homework.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because at least we talk about the homework before 11 o'clock.
I like it.
Want to continue talking about. We've got delicious breads and oils here, as ordered previously.
I've got hula hoops.
Right, Jess, can you just tell me where you'd like to look at? Don't say the wall.
That's fine. Can you, Andy? Can you move to your left?
I could do.
Go close to Andrew.
No, that's fine.
Go on a bit further. Go on.
Hang on.
Hello. Do you like my headset?
I don't know if it's interesting, but it's kind of weird that it keeps flicking between.
I really like it, actually. Is that better?
Yeah, much better. I like that.
Well, hang on. It's not quite as much as Griff as everyone would like.
That is a chunky bit of bread you've got there, Griff. Looks like cake.
Focaccia. This is brilliant.
Can you report on it? How is it?
It's my highlight of the month.
Yeah, very good.
Right, so we didn't know whether we think it's 20, right? This is Blab 20.
This is Blab 20.
Welcome. We are one down who didn't want to come tonight, apparently.
Which usually me, but for once it's not.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so I think I'll start off with the question of the month, which this is going to be really stupid because it's going to be more answers to most people. But we thought we'd do a World Cup topic this month, and we kind of bottled it really and came up with the obvious. Who's going to win? That's it. It's rubbish, I know. So the question of the month is, who is going to win the World Cup? And you might want to add why.
Yes.
Let's start with Griff.
Should we start with someone else?
Let's start with Jeff.
I think Brazil's going to win, but not in terms of on the field, but off the field.
Oh my God! Oh no, is football going to win it?
No. Actually, I can't really change my mind. Jess did text yesterday to say he's my winner in dark horse, and I did pick Brazil.
Yeah.
I just think home turf, home fans. I mean, it could go against them, and they could actually crash out and not make the final. But I just think they're going to win it. But it just thinking, if they do win it, it will be their 6th victory. Does that mean they get to keep the current World Cup as well?
Well, I assume so. If the policy is the same as it was for the Jules Rimet Trophy.
Won 3 times. So
who pays for a new cup?
FIFA.
It's okay. They've got £1 billion in reserve. So.
Yeah. Do you see that video that I shared on Facebook?
Send it to me. But they got £1 billion in reserve just in case as a contingency. So I reckon they could. They're not a non-profit organisation, but they have got £1 billion in reserve.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
They have to pay for the World Cup.
Well, that's fair. I mean,
Well, I don't know.
problem next time. It's hard, is it? So Brazil. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going Brazil. My dark horse was England. If anybody was interested.
That was almost my dark horse, actually.
I don't think England are anybody's dark horse.
Of
Sorry,
course.
chaps. Look. Let's not beat around the bush. I think.
That's weird.
I think what's happening?
You actually sound like now the computer from War Games.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush. Brazil are going to win.
Brilliant.
Brazil are going to win the World Cup, but I'm going to pick Argentina. just to be different. I just want to be different. I think
Jess is not working.
they have the best
You always
chance
do so
of
well.
everybody else.
That always works really well, yeah.
Is this not working? Can you not hear me?
That's better.
Oh, good. What, did you hear my answer?
No.
No.
Now instead of giving up your answer, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Argentina is my answer.
No.
They're the only other team who I think who have a realistic chance of winning. Brazil are the favourites, and quite rightly so, but Argentina have potentially the best player in the world, and they know the conditions, and they haven't had far to go, and they've got an amazing team. So, Argentina. Although I did have a chat with a guy last night, and we were talking about how it's obviously going to be really hot, and how when it's extremely hot, teams that play a possession game have a much better chance of winning things, because as the tournament goes on, everyone else is getting tired, and they're fine because they're in control of themselves the whole game. And so Spain could have a really good chance. I mean, I know they have a good chance anyway because they're defending champions and what have you, but so Spain perhaps have a better chance than we might otherwise think. So there you have it. Is that a noise of approval of my pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's more the Focaccia, I'm afraid.
No, that's exactly what it was, Jess.
Oh no, it was yours. Andy said the Focaccia's horrible, Jess won't like it.
Yeah. That's the right answer.
Yeah. Mine is equally uninteresting. I'm saying Brazil as well. I think they'll win. They'll either win or really bottle it. But I think they'll win.
That's actually my theory. I think they'll either win or they will just crumble under the pressure.
Yeah, they will just collapse. But I think they'll win.
Now, do we think I mean, in that case, do you think they will win because they have the best team, or do you think it's mostly down to home field and home soil advantage?
They're very close to being it, aren't they? I mean, they've not been amazing recently, but
Yeah.
I think they're one of the better teams. It's the home advantage that maybe. I'm just thinking of the hostile South American atmosphere.
and also the conditions. I mean, I know you mentioned Argentina are pretty up for it, but I guess it's that. I don't know what Argentine-Brazilian relations are like. Actually,
I don't think they're very good.
Well, that would be my impression and guess.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
It will probably be difficult for it not to be worse than ours.
Yeah, are you still there, mate?
I'm here. Yep.
So yeah, that's my guess is Brazil, and I think the dark horse is France for some reason.
Yeah. No. Fair enough. I mean,
Well,
no one's talking about them.
Right, they were laughable last time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Quite enjoyed
It's not-
crap. and
I
stuff.
don't think we've chosen them as a dark horse, so, whether it will come up, but I think Belgium are not being spoken of much, but they've got quite a tidy team.
They've got an amazing team.
Belgium's life story, isn't it?
They got Mignolet, they got Company, Hazard,
Lukaku.
Lukaku. Quite a good spine of a side, that.
Yeah, they're very good.
For some reason, Eden Hazard is Harry's favourite player. It's really odd.
Well, no, he's a Chelsea fan, and he's Chelsea's best player, I think. So that's fair enough.
Yeah, it's just odd because I don't know how he's come to that conclusion.
I have heard people say that the only thing against Brazil is that they haven't had a great deal of competitive football lately. Obviously, they haven't had to go through qualifying. So whether they are, I don't know, competitive match fit, if you know what I mean, or competitive mind fit.
Yeah, it's an interesting part. I do sometimes think when people say that, I think there is a thing in match fitness, but they say competitiveness. I think sometimes it's a load of tosh. You're playing for your country. If you can't get up for playing for your country, then when can you?
Well, and they all play in competitive leagues, so it's not like they haven't had competitive football for a while, but maybe as a unit. But yeah, I think you're probably right. It is a bit of tosh.
So you're right. Should be alright.
Right. Who do you think
Right.
wins it?
I think Chile is going to win.
Chile?
And the reason is, I've got them in the sweepstakes.
Good enough for me.
Not good enough for me, though. I don't think that's a viable reason. Sorry.
I don't think that's actually a viable reason. No, if I actually had to pick, I think I'd probably pick Argentina.
Nice. Yeah. Good.
Really? Another
See?
one?
He's on my
Well,
side.
No non-South American teams ever won in South America, have they?
Yeah. I think that's right.
The main reason for not looking
No
past South
European
America.
teams ever won South America.
No, I don't.
So my dark horse, I think, would probably be Uruguay.
Very good. Do we think it's more or less a two-horse race, or do we throw Spain and Germany into the mix as well as being viable other winners?
I could. I think any of those
No,
teams
didn't hear any of that.
final.
I don't think we can throw Spain in there as well. They're a powerful act.
And, it'd be the first time
Agreed.
that a European team has won in South America.
I think as we've got older, I think the gaps between teams' abilities and who can win is coming like 20 years ago, or like Mexico '86, Italia '90, USA '94. There were teams that got there and they were rubbish and they were spanked. But I think those days have gone now. I think
spanked.
Yeah.
I think some of the like when I was coming over tonight, they were talking about the England group, and they said that one of the, I think it was Danny Murphy, said he thinks Costa Rica is going to get a result against one of the teams in our group. And I think that's a fair. I think now the gap's closed and players are playing more. That's could possibly happen.
Okay.
And I think that's.
Do you remember in 1990? I think it was when Costa Rica beat Scotland.
Yes, it was
and that was massive. That was massive because they were massive underdogs and they beat Scotland. And Scotland are terrible.
Everyone's a winner. I'm Scottish, but who cares about it?
But I just
Scottish
think
football.
that's what I'm probably looking forward to most about the World Cup. Is I'm quite enjoying seeing
Scotland aren't in it.
Well, that being one of them, but sort of seeing those underdog teams, that people think are going to get beaten, actually play well. I think was it New Zealand that drew with somebody last time?
Yeah, who was the?
Yeah.
It was a great game and a great result.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it? It was can't remember. But anyway, yeah.
If you think about what would it have been, maybe so 1990 and before, if someone had said the Ivory Coast are in the World Cup, you would just laugh, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You'd say, well, they haven't got a chance. They'll lose all their games. Do they even know the rules?
Where is it?
But now they're potentially one of the best teams in the world, genuinely so, with 2 or 3 of the best players in the world.
Well,
Strangely, I do think African football hasn't developed as much as people thought it would.
Yeah, well, Pele did say something about an African team winning the World Cup before 2000 or something.
Nigeria played in USA '94.
Yeah.
Had a good side, and they were saying, there are some great African teams that won't be long before they win the World Cup, and they just sort of don't seem to have kicked on from that.
I blame Pele again.
most things.
Oh my God.
The best.
That is pesto, tomato, and pepper peppers.
Andy, would you care to reevaluate your highlight of the month?
No, because I'm really pleased with my highlight month. I'm really pleased with it. Although this does look a close second.
Just while waiting for everybody to return, has anybody been or followed the what the BBC have been doing? You know that when they do their live commentaries on football games and stuff,
What do
they have the text commentary on the BBC website.
Okay, yeah.
Has anybody? They've been doing retro ones, so they
Oh,
like
no,
to do
they
a live text commentary on the
I've-
'66 World Cup final
I've seen them, but I've not watched it.
and England versus Argentina in '86.
Mhm.
And it was really quite funny. So there was some very subtle, funny kind of people tweeting in and filming it, sort of saying, the England-Argentina game was like, it's 0-0, I reckon the second half could be a bit controversial, and things like that. But it's just been quite fun to watch. They kind of put the modern-day twist on
That's cool.
stuff we did, 20 or sort of 20, 30 years ago.
Once again, the BBC showing how sport should be covered.
Unlike ITV.
Can we briefly talk about ITV's laughable?
Please do.
Did you see it? With
Just
the Rangers.
some of it. I don't know, I didn't see it.
Right, so first struck me. I thought, I fully understand. There's people moaning about why they take the players in. Now, I haven't got a problem with that. I fully understand why they did it, so I'm not going to moan at that at all.
No, of course not.
That dude, the operations guy who came down, seemed to think that our version of English was completely different to what we call a thunderstorm. There was something else he said. He said what we call, what was it?
So
There was two things he said, which was what we called, and it reminded me of Miranda.
Well, I was going to say, do you think he was being facetious? Do you think he was just... Because he was being asked some ridiculous questions. At one point he said, well, we just don't know because it's the weather.
Because you're right, the questions, first of all, there are too many people, right? You don't need all three of those people talking, because Lee Dixon never got a word in, because Ian Wright kept nicking the microphone.
Lee Dixon, who, by the way, is probably the most sentient and sensible of all four of them.
He was almost looking a bit annoyed at the end, because he was a bit, you see the side of his face, and Ian Wright just rabbits on, and Adrian Charles, shut up. I used to like him.
Yeah.
Now I just think he's
I used to like him, now he's just annoying.
He just likes the sound of his own voice or something.
no, it was. I mean, you can't sort of legislate for that happening as such that they're going to get taken off. And I did make the comment because I did think as well what that break did highlight some of the genius now of social media. When you see people tweeting and things like that, and like we had that commenting on Andy's status, but kind of what I said at the time, it shows you how good cricket commentators are. Yes. It highlights to me how brilliant the TMS team are, because you get that team up, they just carry on, and they, you know, sometimes when you're watching TMS, a game of cricket breaks out during their conversation that you're wrapped into, and that was just awkward. It's like, and there's even a point when the referee came out, who I thought was quite cool actually. The ref, very informative. He comes out and he goes, yeah, the game's going to start in 10 minutes. Looks to us, well, actually, that'll be 9 minutes, 20 seconds. ITV put catch up, game to resume shortly. He's just told you the exact time this game is going to start. And all you can put is shortly.
I just hope it starts.
That's terrible. It's just rubbish. Everything about it is terrible. There was one bit.
Yeah, the ironic thing is, the one piece of ITV, and I don't think they produce it, a sport that isn't rubbish, their Tour de France coverage is very good.
Yeah.
But that's probably more because it's done by an independent company.
Yeah. It's inherited by whoever covered it before them.
Yeah, because it's Phil Liggett and Gary Mack, etc.
Channel 4.
Can I just, before we move on, Glenn Hoddle. Oh, you absolutely. He looks weird for a start.
Yeah, he does look weird.
He actually said, and it might, you know, if we score a couple of chances, we might win. Really? Do you think?
If we score more goals than them, we've got a chance.
He kept pulling out the most cliche football cliche.
Oh my God.
Did he cover? Was he brought in to cover Roy Keane?
I think possibly, yes. I'm not sure, but I think so.
There's a crying shame.
Yeah.
He's a fan of Roy Keane, but
Adrian Chiles turned into a blithering idiot. I mean, my mum said to me after the match, she said, "Did you notice how Adrian Chiles said everything twice?" I feel like he said everything 3 times.
There must be something, because Adrian Chiles, when he was on the BBC, and I did radio from him, he's actually quite funny, nice to enjoy, and his things were good. And it was the same with Deadline and Utter Genius stuff. They go to ITV and they become shit.
Yeah.
The Andy Townsend as well, right?
Oh,
what?
Worse.
What an arse.
Don't start me on that.
So I counted. I think it was 6 times he said disappointed. No, he don't. I would have put money on him to score then. Oh, I'm so surprised.
You expect Daniel Sturridge to score in those sorts of situations?
Yeah, I'm really surprised he didn't score in those situations. Look at it. Great ball, great turn. It's just a shame. 9 times out of 10, he would have scored. It's like he was panicking because he didn't know what to say because they're now off the field. Oh, sorry. One more thing, Glenn Hoddle. Glenn Hoddle said, when he's like, oh, you know, their rhythm is all broken. You know, the worst thing in the world is, you know, they're going to come back on and then they got to go off again for half time. What?
That's the worst thing.
And Adrian Charles was trying to get Roy Hodgson to panic. What about this? But you're playing, and Roy Hodgson's like, just relax, we'll sort it out. But you're playing. You might be here for another 2 hours. He's like, well, But he's like, shut up. What is it with the English people? Trying to instill panic.
That really annoys me.
Annoys me.
It's not just trying to instill panic. It's trying to create a story where there isn't one.
It's just.
And a lot of the media are like that.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because I've seen a couple of things recently which talk about, from an American culture kind of perspective, from a media and political standpoint, it's all about creating fear.
Yeah.
But British people, it's all about creating disaster and doom and gloom.
Yeah.
It really is. And every situation's got to have a grey lining to create drama. It's garbage. That's why I hated Mansell.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to your hatred of Mansell.
Yeah, it does. It's always winning despite something rather than because of something. I really hate it.
Very good.
Should we do highlight of the week? Month?
I think we should do homework part
Okay,
one first.
you want to do first?
You choose. I don't mind.
Don't ask me for the novel.
Right, hang on. What were they? Let's get that right. So we saw the Wind Rises.
Wind Rises and In Your Eyes. Eurovision was optional, and Hearthstone was not quite sure if it was even one of them.
You think Hearthstone?
No, I'm convinced it wasn't one of the things.
Let's not talk about Hearthstone. What I would say about Hearthstone is it's free. So
Yeah. Well, I'll make Hearthstone one of my honourable mentions then if we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Might even make it my highlight of the month.
Shall we do Wind Rises? Because that was a long time ago now.
Yes.
So, Griffin and Steve.
Was I on holiday? Mr. Greenman's, what's that?
Yeah.
That's a rough chase.
Terrible. Jeff, I'll let you start.
Because nobody invited me if you did.
No, you were on holiday. We went when you were away, and it was only like a week or two, so we wouldn't have been showing because it's such a tiny film. Not such a tiny film. You know? He was only basically playing in the little theatre for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. May only have been a week actually.
I'll let you on.
So Jeff saw it more recently than we did.
Like 3 days more recently than you. Okay.
More recently
So
than me.
the only other similar movie that I've got to compare it to is Spirited Away, and comparing it to that at least, I preferred it because it wasn't so fantastical. It didn't have the spirit world and the weird creatures, and it was much more factual based and real human beings. And there was only really the weird dream sequences with the Italian guy that took us out of the real world, which was fine. And I guess it's one of the benefits of animation is that you can do all kinds of things like that with no greater expense than real world stuff. So I appreciated it for that. And I thought, as a piece of Japanese fiction, or not even fiction, a piece of Japanese history, I thought it was magnificent. It's got so much significance from a Japanese cultural perspective because it talks about the earthquake in Tokyo, which it covers, sort of cursory at the beginning, but it shows what impact it had, which I thought was amazing. And then it talks about how poor Japan was before the war and the whole kind of ambition that the country had. And then it talks about this clearly very important guy in the military history of Japan, even though he particularly wasn't that keen on the military aspect of it. And then it's also Miyazaki's last film, so it's quite important culturally in that respect as well. So I think on almost every level, I applaud it.
Yeah, it was quite something. I mean, I thought from my perspective, I put it I think it's his best film I've seen. I've only seen 3 of them. It was not my favourite, but I think it's his best. I think My Neighbor Totoro is better. I think I enjoy that more.
Yeah.
But it's so beautiful, isn't it? I mean, I know his animation, the studio's animation style is kind of its linchpin almost for some kind of motif, if you like. But I thought he was so good. There was a bit I mentioned it to someone afterwards when the train was coming over the crest and there was a heat haze and stuff. It was just amazing. I'd have that as a picture on my wall. It was so incredibly.
I think there's a number of shots like that you could have on your wall, aren't there?
Stunning, absolutely stunning. I like planes, I like flight, so that was kind of interesting for me. But I think you're right. Culturally, from a sort of historical and cultural perspective, it's really important. And but I thought it was fantastic. It got a bit slow at one point. I'm trying to remember where it was.
I'm just going to have to take time out for just a sec, guys. I need to just check on the kids. I'll be back in a sec.
A little bit.
I thought it did go on.
I can't remember what
I can't
happened.
remember exactly where.
Was it
but
when he was in that hotel?
I thought it all went a little bit weird because he said he was something like going to go around the world.
Oh,
didn't
yeah, I
he?
didn't get that.
I didn't get it.
I'm interested to hear Jess's thoughts on it. Yeah, I thought that bit was weird. Didn't really get it. Didn't really get why it was so long. I mean, clearly defining the relationship between him and his future wife, but it just seemed it was a bit.
Yeah, but I didn't understand why he was there in the first place.
You back, Jess?
Yeah, I'm back. I'll have to go again in 10 minutes or so, but I'm back.
No, I'm just saying a bit. I didn't really get where I thought it was a little bit slow. Probably because I was spending more time trying to figure out what's going on than actually concentrate on the film.
Yeah.
When he was in the hotel and he was kind of courting his wife of the future, I didn't get where he was because at that point, I think the bit beforehand, he kind of decided that his mate had been sent back to Japan from Germany, but he was to continue west around the world. And then he just seemed to spend all the time in this hotel, and I didn't even know where that was.
No.
I just didn't get it. I'm not saying it's bad. I didn't follow it as well as perhaps I thought I might at that point.
Was he on holiday?
I don't know. It just didn't make it clear.
I felt like he was just on holiday.
Isn't it?
And then he met the girl, and then he sort of travelled back and forth to see her. She stayed there because of her illness, I think. And didn't he travel back and forth?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit muddled because the rest of it was very clear what was going on.
Yeah, I can't really remember.
Quite nicely led by history. But as soon as we got into the bit where it was the history part actually wasn't that important, and we're looking at the kind of the forming of the relationship, I just sort of got a little bit confused. I'm not, not a big deal, but that's the only bit I thought was a bit odd. We got a bit fishy at that point because it was also boiling hot.
It was, yeah.
And I had some dudes in front of me who was right in the line of the subtitles.
Oh.
So it was a bit unfortunate that we sat down, we were in there fairly early, and we sat down, obviously, 3 seats, there was a couple of black empty rows in front of us, and then stuff, just sitting on the side filling up, whatever, and just before it started, 3 tall Japanese
that was
guys.
the irony, who didn't need to see the subtitles.
Yeah, exactly. So they didn't need to see the subtitles, and their heads blocked them. So,
By the way, how many tall Japanese guys are there?
well, not many. Yeah,
3 in the world.
At least 3 in fact. Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate, really.
Well, yeah,
And it did gradually get hotter throughout the whole film, didn't it?
I really did. But yeah, excellent. I really enjoyed it. Like I say, I put it below Totoro because I think Totoro is more fun.
Yeah.
It's still poignant. But yeah, really, really impressive.
It was, I think, well, you've already said it, Andy, but it was just so visually beautiful, wasn't it? I mean, at every scene.
Yeah. Visually, I thought it was excellent. As far as the actual story and that goes, it was okay. I did find it went on a bit in the middle. And I also thought the dream sequences were a bit, not quite shoehorned in, but it's almost like he had to do the fantastical bit.
Yeah.
Using something like Spirited Away, it fits because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
He was doing real life, and he couldn't do that.
Yeah.
He had to stick the dream.
Yeah. So why are we animating this if we? So we need to sort of justify the animation by putting in something that you can't do in real life.
But in terms of the work, particularly that shot, because we did talk about afterwards, that train shot, and there were a couple of others just like this is, that is absolutely
really impressive.
Yeah. So as a piece of filmmaking, excellent. But if you said, do you want to watch Spirited Away or that one again, I would pick Spirited Away. Or I would, but watch other ones I haven't seen.
Totally. I keep meaning to offer it around.
Yes, you need to. I need to.
My kids love it. They absolutely love it.
I think something that those movies do very well is Wind. I know that's the name of the movie and it's integral to it, but they animate wind so incredibly well. I think all Japanese animation does, where they have the sort of the hair flowing in the breeze and stuff. It's just so brilliant because they stylize everything to look as good as it possibly can.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like I say, makes me want to go play Ni no Kuni more.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there, Griff, any thoughts?
There must be other things we have to say about it. It was such a long time ago, I can't remember it.
Yeah, I can't remember specifics anymore, which is a shame.
It sounds like it's a good film that I've been out.
This band, we'll see.
What did we think of the relationship with the Germans? You find that it was a bit weird, historically?
The Germans.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, no, I did think that was very interesting.
And actually, they were talking about engineering and they were looking at specific designs of the planes, and I thought that was in the way in which those dudes, those heavies, kind of try to protect them from getting too close to certain things.
Yeah.
But again, going back to what you said previously about it's kind of historical context, I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah. I love the line where they said we still use whatever it is, oxen to pull the planes onto the runway. And even at the end, when they were unveiling the Zero, they still used oxen.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, really good.
But I just going back to what I was saying earlier, I really liked the depiction of the earthquake right at the beginning. And
I didn't really get it. That's not true. I knew what it was, but initially, because it's so stylized it was so exaggerated to make a point. I said, what's going on? Is this a bit weird like the other ones,
But do you think it was exaggerated to make a point, or do you think that actually happened? I wouldn't be surprised if most of Tokyo did burn because of the earthquake.
No, it was the ripples in the ground and the way they...
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. No, fair enough.
When I was at the time, I wasn't really thinking. I thought, is this a weird dream sequence?
I can't remember if that was it, but there was at least one part when I thought, is this still a dream sequence, or is this not? I'm not quite sure.
I thought you might want to sleep on the train, knowing some of the films.
That's true.
I thought it just seemed a little bit too abstract.
Well, maybe they did that on purpose.
No, I don't. On reflection, I think it was fine. At the time, I thought, "Ooh, this good." But then, obviously, once I realised what it was, and it wasn't a dream, then it was fine. It just at the time it took me a bit by surprise. But then, an earthquake would, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Right, I've got to keep one ear out for the kids, so I might be slightly distracted for.
That's all right. Should we go down to highlight of the month?
Yes.
I appreciate it giving you that time to think about this.
Well, just you've had a list to do your homework. Just pick one.
Point of order. Highlight of the month followed by honourable mentions, or honourable mentions followed by highlights of the month.
Whichever you fancy.
Okay. Fine.
And is the highlight of the month anything? Or
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything you want.
It could be food. I'm not saying it should be, but it
could be bread.
I've worn mine is for weeks. So that's not mine. So
You can start.
Hold on a sec, guys. Hold on.
Morgan, is everything all right? You nearly done?
All right. Sorry about that.
Right.
Right.
Mine is Orange is the New Black.
Right. Okay.
Bit of that, yes.
Right.
It's
So
on Netflix, isn't it?
it's a Netflix original program, and I thought I was really cross with myself for getting off the. I was on the Game of Thrones bandwagon for a very short period of time. Oh, this is ridiculous. So I was craving something to watch, so I could like binge watch, and it's been out for what, a year? No, maybe
Quite a
7, 8.
while. Yeah.
And I thought I'm going to give this a go, mostly because the guy at work said there's lots of nudity in the first one. So I thought, I don't know, I'll watch it. And there is. Well, no, why not? Bloody hell, it's a flipping amazing TV show. It is top hole television.
How many episodes are you into it?
Unintended.
Yeah. I have watched the entirety of the first series and
Oh,
two,
right.
which only came out 2 days ago, last week.
Marla and I got maybe 4, 5, I think maybe 5 or 6 episodes in, and we lost patience with it. It was like, oh, this is.
Well, I've got to say there is a bit. I think episodes 4 and 5. I was thinking, it dipped a little bit at exactly the wrong time because you need a really strong sort of third way through a series. If it dips at that point, it's quite easy to drop out. But no, it's really really good. I love
Are
it.
you saying keep at it then, because it gets better?
Skip over don't skip over them, but yeah, keep at it. It gets better. Oh man, it's so good. I should be articulating it better. Do you know anything about it?
I've read something on Tinterweb. Must have been on something on Twitter. But yeah, basically, some rich woman gets from jail for I can't remember why.
Yeah. So this lady, Piper Chapman, is I don't think she's particularly rich. She's engaged to be married to Jason Biggs.
Not real life Jason Biggs.
No. And it comes about, she doesn't tell you all the truth of her past life. It comes about that she was once in a lesbian relationship with this woman who she basically started doing anything she told to. Not naive, massively naive, but because they're on, young on a bit of a travel binge, if you like. And she was a drug dealer. She was getting Piper to do. Actually, she only did one job, so she says. And she got found out, or implicated. She didn't get found out. She got implicated in the case 10 years down the line. Her name was brought about, and she basically surrendered to go to jail rather than go through the court process. Yeah. So when it takes it from them, the first episode is them discussing, how it's going to affect their relationship, and it takes it through the process of getting admitted into prison. It's really odd. I love the way it doesn't skip over that stuff.
I thought the first episode was excellent. I really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, it's really, what seems to be quite menial, waiting in a waiting room to get admitted to prison. They're like, well, I don't really know how this works.
She sort of turned herself in, didn't she? She sort of volunteered herself, and no one knows what to do with her.
Yeah, and if people aren't expecting her there, and oh my goodness, and it goes in from there. I mean, it does get. There are some bits, and I think there's a couple of episodes which they try to be funny episodes, and they're not. They're not funny. They're just stupid because the gravity of the situation. What it tends to do is focus, and it really only shows that this pattern's going to emerge around about a third up to halfway through the first series, where when she gets to know inmates, it flashes back to their lives before they end up in jail, and it's really poignant because a lot of them are, as I'm sure is the case, they're not bad people. It's just circumstance gets them into a position where they end up in jail and their lives fall apart, and that is so good. It is so good. It gets so good, Jess. It really does.
Okay.
The last third,
Got to stick with it.
the series, is incredible. I watched the last 3 on the bounce, and then I gave myself a bit of a break of a couple of days, and then I started watching series 2. But,
Right, good. You've reinvigorated my. Well, Game of Thrones is going to be ending after next week, so I'll have a void
Where have you
in
got-
my life.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay, whose stories have we met? We've met the transgender guy slash girl. We met
Yeah.
the older woman that she shares a cell thing space with, the one that was like a cleaning lady.
Yeah.
We've met her. We met the cook, the chef, the Russian woman.
Who's Captain Janeway
Yes, Captain
from
Janeway.
Voyager.
That's right. And that might be it, actually. We may have met one other person. She's already had that encounter with the crazy woman that wants to be her lover.
Crazy Eyes.
Yeah, Crazy Eyes. Yeah, we've encountered
You
her.
can, yeah.
And if the last thing I remember is the ward, the prison guard, and the Hispanic woman are sort of kind of hooking up, kind of like leaving notes for each other and stuff like that. Maybe
Did you
the
meet
last.
Alex?
I don't know. No, I don't know. Oh yes, yeah. Alex meaning the drug trafficker woman.
That's the kicker. She ends up being in jail with the person, her ex-lesbian lover.
Nothing's particularly happened with them yet that I can remember.
So many stories. Just watch it. Anyway, I can't recommend it enough. If you have access to Netflix, it's truly excellent, and there's quite a lot of. It's really brazen as well. It's not. It's not. It's not particularly. What's the word I'm after? Explicit in any way, shape, or form. But they don't.
They don't shy
avoid
away
things.
from things either, do they?
No, they don't shy away from it, but they're not overly explicit about things where you don't. Yeah. So anyway, it's flipping bro. I want to go watch it now.
Okay, give me just a couple of minutes, guys. Hold on. Sorry.
Don't worry. Looks like a different one. Playing Fighter was cool. Oh, it's so good. Have you seen the augmented reality part to it? Click on the AR button on top.
No AR button.
Yeah. Point it at the sky. But no, you obviously need to look through the screen with the camera, and then you can point it at planes in the sky and it labels them.
Oh my god. So there's a CG. Oh, that's ace.
It's so cool.
Oh, that's just weird.
Some more drink instead.
Not free.
Want to say again?
No, I'll finish that stuff. Okay.
That's very cool. That's slightly freaky. See, that's an app that was worth paying for. Because you get it through the.
All right, I'm back in the room. Sorry about that, chaps.
You want one?
Ooh. Are you having drinks?
Yeah.
Andy's having pretend
Malibu.
Sounds like ice and everything.
Yeah, there's ice and everything.
I think he's hoping for a twist of lemon as well.
I'm just thinking about.
Are you doing that right next to the microphone? Because that sounded so appetizing. The clink of the ice and then the drink being poured into the glass.
Sorry. Did you want ice, Greg?
No, I'm good. I'm fine. That's just a testament to one of my.
Yeah, make sure you crunch your ice in front of Griff if you could, please, guys.
Does that freak you out? Ice crunching. No. Cool.
Right, I'm done. Well, I could talk about it for ages, but I don't want to spoil it.
Do you have any honourable mentions?
I did actually, but I can't remember what they are.
Good. We can come back to that.
Shall I go next?
Yeah.
I'm not prepared this at all, but here goes. I've watched a few films, not many. I'm gonna mention one, which is a film called Antichrist. That's the last one.
Is this your highlight of the month?
No, it's not my highlight. It's not. The main reason I'm mentioning Antichrist is so that nobody else watches it.
It's a public service, you see, it's like movie 43.
Do not watch Antichrist. The only people who should watch it are people who are complete Lars von Trier fans and know exactly what they're letting themselves in for. Anybody else will have images in their brain that they cannot get rid of and never need to be there.
Brilliant.
Don't be tempted just because it says it's got nudity in it or something, because
Has it?
Yes, it has, but it's got stuff in it that nobody ever needs to see.
Is it worse than The Cross?
It's on the.
I guess it's different.
It's different, but it's not. Yeah, it's not far off. Yeah, in that same vein, there's one scene, and you just think, didn't need to see that. But
do you want to talk about it? You think? I mean,
I don't.
Give us a
no, because if I tell you, it's difficult to.
Is there an abstract way of talking about it so we get a vague idea, or is it just not worth even going there?
Well, without going into too much detail, there's a woman and she's got a pair of scissors.
Okay.
And there's blood at the end of it.
Let's
not go any further than that.
So let's never watch that film.
That's my advice, is never watch that film.
We should create a list of films that no one should ever watch.
Yes. Okay. Sharknado.
Yeah. Moving forward. Anyway.
They need to be a special kind of bad. Well, I don't think Sharknado,
like Superbad.
Sharknado is pretty bad.
Have you actually watched it from start to finish, like I have?
Eh?
Have you watched Sharknado from start to finish, like I have?
I saw the last 2/3.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right.
I'm laughing at it though.
Yeah.
So I thought it was entertaining because it's just a joke. You must know it's the worst thing ever.
If you're avoiding Sharknado films, do not watch Sharks in Venice.
It's not a title that immediately sprang to the top of my list.
It's got the crappiest of the Baldwin brothers in it, and it's just a truly awful film.
Right, I've never watched that either. We should create a film of the films we can wholeheartedly recommend you never watch, and give reasons. Because I think there are good reasons to never watch certain films.
Shark in Venice is simple. It's crap.
I don't think it's crap is good enough. I mean, movie 43 is putrid to its core. There's nothing good about it. Nothing. And I don't think I've ever come across anything in life which has no redeeming features as much as that film. Because you could drive a car.
He could do that. He could drive a car.
Yeah. So another honourable mention: the last ever series of Wallander started, which we've been watching.
Of who? Of what? Sorry.
Wallander.
Oh right. I honestly thought you said Bonanza.
Yeah, Bonanza.
They're all 95 years old.
I know Fernando, but they just said Max Wielander.
Yeah.
Queen's Club, and Max Wielander was on it.
So yeah, that's Wallander. Anyway.
It won 7 Grand Slam titles.
It's not about
Max Wallander. No, it's about a Swedish detective called Wallander. This is the last one that they're going to do, and it's very good. There's a lot of personal stuff going on, if you like. But very well done. But even we watched one the other night, and the actual plot, the main plot, if you like, rather than the stuff plot, was very well done about girl that disappeared. But it was twist at the end of the term you weren't expecting. However, my highlight of the month is slightly more bread related.
Is it your?
Because I did another course at the Birkenhead Bakery, and it was a 2-day course this time. So that's 3 days that I've done now.
Is that where you learned to
excellent.
focaccia?
Well, focaccia would technically actually be on the first one, but we learned sweet doughs and sour doughs.
So
brown. dark days.
That was we went to see the Wind Rises on the evening of the first day.
Or was it? Yeah, maybe we did.
Because I don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we were talking somewhere. It must have been because I don't think we met him. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, it was about.
And you've done was it your sweet does on that day?
Yeah, sweet dough first and started the sourdough.
How did the sourdough go? Because I know you started.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, I've got there's a whole pile of sourdough. It's gone a bit
Brilliant.
and yeah, there's some sourdough there that I made as well tonight.
That's very next Blab. I'll bring some homebrew.
Yeah,
Just homebrew bread.
it was excellent. I mean, I think your quote actually when we were chatting about it and you were saying that that's you are, and you sort of, I almost get it's a bit like living in Bath. You take it for granted, and because it's in Bath, you take it for granted. And you sort of and then comment that you're learning from somebody who is the absolute top of his game. He said it's like being taught to play tennis by Andy Murray. It's, and I don't have quite. I mean, I sort of knew that, but I hadn't stopped and thought that. And
you take it for granted.
I take it for granted because he's in that, and sometimes you see him in Morrison's on Sunday, and you don't. Yeah, you don't.
Because you mentioned that there are people literally from over the world there.
People travel from as far as New Zealand to do this course. Now, admittedly, that's they do a whole week. It's a 5-day course, but people travel from all around the world to do this course. Whereas I've walked 15 minutes down the road.
Roll in, and you just see nothing of it almost.
Yes, almost.
Yeah,
it's just in 10. It's just if you know where all the marines used to be. Yeah, just along there.
Many a birthday in
It's
Old
called St Andrews.
Yes.
Knows where that is. So you can say where Orleans used to be. If anybody's been there, for a certain amount of time knows exactly what we're talking about.
So good.
Yeah, excellent. So
and you're making time. It's not necessarily whilst clearly you're going to learn stuff from a master. It's the fact that you are dedicating time of your own to do one thing you really want to do.
It's brilliant. And the amount I learned and the amount the show does was just and stuff that you've got. So you're redoing some of the stuff you've done before. And I was making baguettes. I've been making baguettes on and off for the last year. They're all right. It's test to get something in the shop, but they taste perfectly fine. You may not look. And so I'm making baguettes, and he said, "Are you left-handed?" I'm like, "No." He said, "Well, you're making it the wrong way round." I mean, not in maths, but you're making it hard for yourself. I was making them that way, and I should have been making them that way.
Isn't that funny?
And it's just he said, "Look, just do it like that." You don't think about it. You just do it, and it's much easier. But you just need somebody to.
And did you find it much easier?
Yeah.
It's not like snowboarders. Some of them are goofy, some of them are regular, and that's just the way it is.
No, that is just the way it is. And I'm right-handed, but I write goofy, and that's just the way I am. It's not. Writing regular is just wrong.
But this is just universal. That if you're right-handed, you do your baguette one way, and if you're left-handed, you do it the other way.
I guess it's supposed to be easier, and it's probably more like playing guitar left-handed rather than it's just most people play it the normal way around. I think riding snowboard goofy or regular is a little bit different, but it's not that you couldn't do it. It's just if you learn to eat with your knife and fork the wrong way around, once you did it, you'd be fine. You'd be able to eat fine. It's just
like my wife.
Just receive eat like the wrong way around or whatever.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, it's just like you say, it's just weird, but it's perfectly fine, and I did find it easier. Now, perhaps if I made them 4 times as many in the last year, I would have not found it easier because I was so ingrained in what I was doing. And part of it was probably him showing me again rather than, but the fact that he was showing me what to do. Brilliant. You just learn so much. People who do the 5-day course, I really don't know how they cope because the amount I've forgotten since the first 1 day. Your brain just can't retain that much information. It's good, but I'm glad I've done it in bits, if you like. It's all about the practice, really. So
this is really good, Jess.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Shut up.
Drop some off.
Bring some to school tomorrow, or get Julia to bring some to school tomorrow, Andrew, so I can at least sample it.
If there's any left.
Yeah.
Really left.
So yeah, that's a good one. And different from that. There's food on our banner.
No, I don't think so. Oh, we've got to strike that from the record then. Sorry, it's not on the masthead. You can't talk about it.
Food, it was learning, life knowledge.
I don't think that's right.
After I've tried events.
Hence,
Learning is overrated.
Anyway, there you go. I'm done. Brilliant.
that's a great. Just shows our true diversity of people. Well, yours anyway.
Well, you can make some patch yourself.
I can make a catchy.
Go on then, his turn.
Me? So, honourable mentions, Assassin's Creed 4.
Good one.
Just brilliant. Just brilliant. I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed games, but I just think they've absolutely nailed the plot and the gameplay and the genre in this one. Playing a pirate, having side missions where you just basically are a pirate,
I was telling you
as well as doing the main mission. It's just brilliant, and it's an Xbox kind of one release title. It shows, where it can go and how good it is, and yeah, just a really good game. You can log in, just do a mission. You can decide you want to buy a few Spanish galleons or brigs or something and do that, or you can crack on and spend a couple of hours doing a few missions.
I think my favourite part of the entire game is the atmosphere conveyed when you're sailing. It is brilliant.
Yeah, when they've got
It is.
they got shanties they'll sing and things like that. It's just really, really.
Sometimes when you dive off the ship and they'll mention it.
Yeah, captain's overboard.
You get back on. And sometimes like, "Hooray!"
Yeah.
And
If you've done a mission, whether it be a side mission, like some of them, like one of the things in Assassin's Creed was, there's treasures around you, you start getting money and pick up things throughout the game. And if you're traveling around the world, which is basically meant to be kind of the Caribbean area, you'll just come across at a line, there'll be a bit of treasure, you'll stop the ship, you'll jump off, you go to the island, you'll get the treasure, and when you come back on, all the they all go, hey, and when you dive off the ship, if you've got to go to the Captain overboard, and they will sing these shanties, and you can collect it. It's just really, really, really well done. And I think having seen a clip of Assassin's Creed Unity, where it looks like Ubisoft have actually started to really use the power of the Xbox in terms of graphical ability, it's good.
Full-player co-op. Full-player co-op.
Another honourable mention, I think, should go to Rick Mail,
Yeah.
who shockingly passed away. I think for quite a lot of us, we might have been a bit too young for the youngers, but definitely Bottom and The New Statesman and Lord Flashheart and things that we grew up watching.
Being older than you, I'm not too young for you.
No.
I remember the young ones, but I don't think I appreciate
I think
the humour, but Blackadder and Bottom, just
that like 3 minutes when Flashheart first arrives.
put in
And
Blackadder.
back into the second.
Yeah.
2 whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Is I watched it like 4 or 5 times in a row because it's just sort of a tirade of shouting and being obnoxious. It
I'm
ends
gonna have
with,
to watch it.
I've got an idea, and he's staring into the camera. Man, it's as hot as my pants. And his flashes are coming off. It's so badly done, but it is absolute genius.
Yeah.
Absolute genius.
So it was sad, but it kind of it definitely didn't work. It reminded us of Bottom, and then we were watching Lord Flashheart clips and Bottom,
And that bit, right, when he throws Percy out through the doors, right? I can't remember why he does it, but
he stood in his way, so he throws him through the doors.
and then halfway through he breaks just with what he's saying because Percy sticks his head through the door and he just headbutts him. It's brilliant. It's so
I think it was a line. Melchi, you still worshipping God? Because last I heard he was worshipping me.
Anyway,
there
was so many of them, weren't there?
Yeah, that was good. Another quick honourable mention to the Giro d'Italia. My first Grand Tour. Saw the final stage in Dublin. good atmosphere. Stood in the rain for 2 hours to see a bike go past in about 3 seconds. But it was great to see the experience, and you just feel the excitement building. And we were near where we could see a big screen, and they were commentating on the race and things like that. And you hear an Italian DJ pumping out some tunes, which was
Nice.
they were also Ramazzotti. They were a bit crap, to be honest, but it was just a really good experience, and you'll hopefully experience it at the tour. And
Yeah. That's what I was about to say.
I've experienced it at the tour twice, so it's very good. And probably potentially another Blab first, and probably a shocker for those of you that know me. My highlight of the month was when on holiday. The holiday is an honourable mention, but I won't go on that.
Yeah, 3 honourable mentions maximum, I'm afraid. So.
On holiday, highlight of the month, more because a bit of a surprise, didn't know what to expect, but visited a stately home called Rusborough House in County Wicklow. And you might think, okay, you visited a stately home, but what I didn't appreciate when I turned up, that it was the home to Lord and Lady Bites, who are huge art aficionados, and they basically had £100 million worth of artwork in their house. And it was, in Ireland especially, it was famous for a robbery 40 years ago where the IRA stole some paintings to try and sell on the black market to fund their thing. And in Ireland, it's quite a big thing. But what was amazing about it, we had a guided tour, and they're all guided tours, but they actually have like kind of very expensive pieces of artwork. We were in one room, it was the music room, and the lady who was doing the tour, very knowledgeable, just sort of said, and this room, and they goes, I'm just over here, and I was literally stood next to it. I had noticed it. I was stood next to a Gainsborough, and it wasn't a record, it was an actual Gainsborough.
And it wasn't behind a velvet rope or anything. And
no, and, I could have touched it. I could have stabbed something through it. The level of trust. But the level of trust, that they had like priceless pieces of artwork and artwork from some pretty famous artists of their day, and some things were roped off like to get in a state of home, but it was there. It wasn't being hidden away. It was like, it sounds a bit kind of South Bank showish, but you could actually appreciate it because it wasn't behind.
Do they live there? The Lord and Lady, whoever they are, do they still live in the house?
No, they passed away, and it's privately owned, and it's completely funded by the visitors.
It cost Griff £40,000 for the guy.
It's something about €10, €12 each to get in. And in the same room where this Gainsborough was, and she was kind of blasé about it, because over by the door, we believe we had a print signed by Picasso.
Nice.
And we've had it looked at by experts, and they don't believe it's a print. They've used an actual etching by Picasso, and it's actually signed by Picasso.
Wow. And
it was just kind of mind-boggling to think that if you go potentially somewhere in the UK or some places, they make it hidden. It's just, and they said at the moment, because we're still getting it verified, we've kind of got it hidden behind the door.
Behind the door? Oh, that's
but it was
secret.
It was just one of those things, It's they have stuff like Goya, Rubens. It was just, I think Vernet as well. Not that I'm an aficionado on these people, but some sort of thing. It was just a complete and utter shock as such. To sort of think it was kind of a day we had extras that we didn't expect. We said let's just go there, and it just turned out to be probably the best thing on the holiday. So if you happen to be near Blessington in County Wicklow, I recommend popping in.
Cool. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me when I went to Salisbury Cathedral with my family a few years ago, quite a few years ago now. I think they've changed things since then. But we just go around the cathedral and the grounds and stuff, and you go around a corridor, around the corner, into a room, and it's the Magna Carta, just in a room. And, oh, by the way, there's the Magna Carta. One of only...
Because there's no ceremony.
I think that is the actual thing that when we were at this when we were at Rusborough House, that was the thing. There was no. They kind of obviously, on the brochures and the things, they sort of say, might have a picture of a Goya or something like that. But it was the fact there was no ceremony. It was just like I'm stood there looking at this music room and her chatting about these two pianos that were Steinways, which had identical mahogany cases put on them, you know, and about how something came out the floor. And she's going around and she's going, and I just did not have a clue that I'm stood next to a game for a painting.
It's one of those things, isn't it? You cover glory and people just assume it's valuable.
Yeah,
And if you put a crap copy
and the most
and behind a velvet rope, people just think it's valuable.
and one of the last rooms we visited, this was kind of funny as well. One of the last rooms we visited, we're just looking around this final room, and there was a painting of Pulteney Bridge.
Nice.
From about 1880, 1890. So I asked the tour guide about it. I said, "You got a picture in there about Pulteney Bridge? What's the significance of that?" And she just said apparently it was painted by somebody who is believed by a lot of people to be one of the suspects, to be Jack the Ripper.
Oh.
Because he used to paint. He'd done some paintings of females, and their poses were in exactly the same position as some of the bodies that were found in Jack the Ripper. And I was speaking to her about it and just sort of saying, you know, she goes as far. I said, yeah, so that it was taken from it was painted probably by the east stand of the wreck where it would be now, because you could see Pulteney Bridge and you could see the colonnades of South Parade. And I was saying to her, I know that's fast, I said, because that's Pulteney Bridge. And I said, I think it still is, but at the time, that's one of only 2 bridges in the world that has shops on it.
Yeah.
And she didn't know that, and she said, thank you for that, I shall tell
there we are.
future tour parties. So,
I think that fact has changed since then, but yeah.
No, I said at the time it was.
Yeah.
We painted, but there's the other one.
Hopefully she checks her facts and she doesn't just say some guy told me
Yeah.
this.
The tour boats that go past our offices every day.
You put your hair the same bit, you say the same little bit. The commentaries they go because obviously my office is moved. Yeah, it's
It's like having the same bus goes over me every day. Every day.
every single day.
Yeah, so I think that's. I can't think of anything. I haven't really watched any films or anything. Good, 'cause I've been on holiday.
Right, my turn?
Yeah. No, I've taken it all out. We're done now.
That's music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my highlight of the month is this guy. I don't know if you can see him very well. This guy...
Is that the dude that Chandler swallowed?
I don't know. This guy is a Gundam.
Gundam dude, isn't it? You took some pictures of this fella.
I've seen some pictures that look like that, only not completely assembled on Twitter.
Yes. He's still not finished yet. I've still got to put more of the stickers on. So this was given to me by Tomo for my birthday. And it's just a Japanese model kit. But as you would expect from the Japanese, it is perfect. There's no glue required, but it holds together absolutely perfectly. You know where you get an Airfix model and you snip the bits off the plastic sprue, it's called, I have since learned.
Yes.
And then you have to fiddly glue it together and there's glue dripping everywhere and it doesn't fit properly and it's all a bit shambolic. It's none of that. It absolutely clips together immaculately perfectly. And to the point where individual pieces have joints and are articulated straight on the sprue. You have to, when you clip them off, they're already articulated. So this guy's fingers were already moving. I don't know quite how they do it. It's absolutely amazing. And it's got over 200 pieces and I don't know, 250 stickers. And it's just brilliant. And I've spent, I don't know how many hours probably putting him together, maybe 6 or 8 hours putting him together. And I've loved every single minute of it. It's been such a fun thing to do. And I can appreciate it's not for everyone. But
Can you put it back on screen again, please?
Say again?
I'm trying to stop you. Can you put him back on screen again, please?
Oh, yeah? What are you going to do to him?
You need to talk at the same time, otherwise we only see us.
Okay.
Oh.
So, yeah, every single thing is articulated. So something simple like that, his arm do this, but then his arm can also hinge at the elbow like that, and you can see his finger is pointing like that. That finger can grip stuff. And his knees, the knees are the most incredible bit. I don't know if you can see that.
Mhm.
His leg is just, yeah, and they twist as well. They don't just articulate forwards and backwards, they twist out like that as well. So his feet can splay.
There's no glue, right?
No glue. No glue whatsoever.
No, you can understand.
No, I don't.
It's incredible.
There's canny Japanese.
Yeah, they're absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, as I say. Anyway, so that's my highlight of the month. And they come in the coolest boxes. Oh, this is the artwork of the box. Bit crap, you can't really see it. But cool, anyway.
Does it make you want to watch Pacific Rim again?
Yes, exactly. And also, I have actually sort of sought out because it's derived from a Japanese cartoon series, originally from the late 70s, and then they've made various iterations over the years. They sort of every couple of years they create a new series of animated shows about the Gundam universe and people piloting these giant mobile suits. So I've sought out a couple of the episodes on YouTube, the ones that have English subtitles or English dubbed, and the kids and I watched an episode a few weeks ago. It was quite good, so I might seek that out a little bit more.
There are a whole host of Gundam video games.
Are there?
Oh yes.
Interesting. Well, I'll maybe seek those out as well.
We could have a Japanese video game episode where we play some really bizarre.
All I can play is
Yeah. In fact,
I was going to suggest it, but I was worried I'd be the only one who's
interested.
Yeah.
I was going to say I thought maybe Andrew, you might be away that week, that month.
I don't like any of the homework I've got covered.
Yeah, unfortunately somebody's already stolen that excuse.
Yeah, you can have it in my house, but I'm not coming.
Just put my apron on and just bring you bread.
Actually,
Yeah.
You do that every month.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Okay.
really cool. Did he bring it back to Japan, I guess?
Yes, I think so, although he may not have, because I have since found that actually they're really not that expensive and you can buy them on Amazon for not very much money. So I have since bought myself another one.
No.
And plan to have a collection of them. But yes, coming from Tomo, the first one, I think it's it was a very nice evening when he showed up and gave me and it was wrapped in Japanese newspaper, which was quite fun as well. So just a quick few honourable mentions. A movie called The Grey, starring Liam Neeson.
Oh yeah, I've got that.
Wolves, isn't it?
There are wolves in it, yes. I think, okay, so it gets mixed reviews. My brother, for example, thought it was terrible. He hated it. But I've heard other people say they quite liked it. Don't expect like those current Liam Neeson films like Unknown and Taken. It's nothing like them. I think it's actually really good. So that's fine. It was an unexpected pleasure to watch, actually. Pretty intense at times. Very briefly want to mention the current Lana Del Rey single. It's called West Coast.
No, no.
And it, I think, is quite Fleetwood Mac-y in its pacing and the rhythm and the drumming and the...
There it is, because when I first heard it, I thought it was that Dutch entry into Eurovision, which was basically back in 1978. Did you hear it?
I probably heard. Yeah, I watched it, but I don't remember the particular entry.
It was ridiculous. Well, yeah. I mean, and I've since heard that Lana Del Rey song, and I thought when I first heard it, I thought it was. I thought, why are they playing the Eurovision song in Dutch?
Oh.
Clearly they were, but no, I completely agree.
And then my final honourable mention is Hearthstone. Seeing as we're not going to talk about it this evening, I'm going to put it as an honourable mention. I am totally addicted to it. I love it.
So I played a couple of yeah, we're not talking about it anymore, so I think it's worth talking about it. it's basically a customizable card game on a computer. It's free, and yeah, it basically just ripped off Magic the Gathering and made it simple, taking a few peculiars out of the game that slow it down, which is not a bad thing that it's slower in Magic. It's just a different game at that point.
But they've taken advantage of the fact that it's a video game, and so they can do cool animations, obviously, but they can also give cards powers that maybe cards in Magic wouldn't have because it's impossible.
And I think I've just got to the point. I completely agree. I think I've just got to the point now where I've got to level 10 on the Mage.
Yeah.
And, just in practice mode, and I think on level 8 on the other guys. But even then, you're picking your. I keep playing Warriors. I figure because you can pick different classes to play with, they got certain powers.
Yeah.
But I had a quick game. I was playing Warrior earlier on, and it got to the end game, so we were on 10 mana each. This game lasted 20 minutes, and Warriors, their abilities give themselves 2 health, 2 armor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could be but every single go, he was getting 2 armor.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to do. So, in my mind, look, if you're playing Warriors, you've got to kill them quick. You have to. Because it gets to the end game.
Yeah. Huh.
Never kill.
Or you've got to have. Yeah, interesting. That's a good point. Good thinking.
Yeah, really. And it's funny because I since read about mages. They're kind of good for the swift attack approach, kind of just get a game over and done with quickly.
Yeah.
So I think I was in the worst possible scenario. Of my end game was weak and his was infinite.
Yeah.
So I was beating him. I didn't quite kill him, and then that was it. The tables turned. And
Slow death.
Yeah, it was, but it was interesting. Yeah, it's flipping brilliant.
Yeah, agreed. I really like it.
Fuck you, did.
Well, and you know what else? Just very quickly, I know we probably shouldn't be going on about honorable mentions so much, but what I really love about it was that when you have it on an iPad, your game transfers from your PC to your iPad to your laptop. It's brilliant. So when I was on holiday, I installed it on my dad's laptop. No, my dad's iPad, sorry. And I was playing it on while we were on holiday. And then when I got home, hook it up on my PC again, and all the cards that I'd unlocked on the iPad are there on the PC. Brilliant.
You may or may not have them, but if you've got iPads and stuff, I would highly recommend downloading Ticket to Ride Puerto Rico and Scotland Yard.
Ticket to Ride. What was the second one? Ticket to Ride what?
Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And Scotland Yard. I mean, they're board games you've all played, but they're all available, I think, pretty well on the iPad. So, and you can download, with Ticket to Ride, you can download some of the additional maps and stuff for a few pounds.
Okay, cool.
That's it. There it is, see. And Catan's on there as well.
I only have one honorable mention. I remember what it was. Because I didn't have one first. It was The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, yeah, you love that.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yes, I did love it. I don't really like Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think he's dishy.
I didn't like him, but then everything I've watched recently with a critical eye, I think he's brilliant. So, yeah, that is a really. Have you seen it?
No.
I don't really buy films anymore. I rented it. I'm down with renting at the moment.
Yeah.
Very soon. And I'm going to buy it when I can get it for. It's fat. It's vulgar in the extreme in every way possible. But in a way which is at the end quite appropriate and actually quite apt. Brilliant, really good.
Cool.
3 out of 5.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch it. When you buy it, let me know and I'll borrow it.
No, it is excellent. It is excellent. So that was it.
Cool. That's your sole honourable mention, yeah?
I mentioned the 500 and what's that?
I didn't see that actually. I think it should be an honourable mention for Pinkus as well. Person winning Masterchef.
Yeah. Always aware of that. Right, we done?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a
Even
little
that
bit
went on.
better structure, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
More
Well,
focus.
it's 20 to 10. We're doing quite well.
So we have. Actually, we've only got one left, haven't we?
Yeah, In Your Eyes.
If you probably haven't seen it.
Is that the Vimeo?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I watched it last time.
Which is really annoying because
Watched
you did
it,
actually
right.
tell me about it when I came off holiday.
Yeah.
And I could have watched it because I've got the app on my phone and I've forgotten all about it. And it wasn't until you said you were watching it last night that I bloody remember.
Yeah, I had a bit of a last minute panic with it. I did it on the not watching it, but I quite like the idea of renting something on video.
Well, first off, right off the bat, how was the Vimeo film watching experience? Because I thought it was brilliant.
I thought initially
Yeah.
I thought it was a bag of nails. But it was. I think it's my Mac. I was running it through Safari.
Oh,
It's so good. I can't get it out of my mind. The video streaming, there must be something to do with the codec and Safari, but they didn't really like each other at all. My Mac is a little bit slow.
How old is that now?
1.5 years.
Have you got? Is it Tiger?
It's on Mavericks. X Mavericks.
No, I remember when Laura got her iPhone, I had to
Snow Leopard.
Snow Leopard. I think I had to upgrade it to Snow Leopard so she could have iCloud.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mine's hanging a little bit.
God, there's nothing I hate more than Mac speak. Snow Leopard, iCloud, fucking hell.
Yeah, so I watched the first 15 minutes. The first 5 minutes or so was fine, and then it got really hacky and laggy, and it was just painful. I was cursing. I was watching in the living room with headphones on. He was doing something else.
Listen to you curse.
And I thought, right now I'm going to just close loads of things down and then just start it in Chrome, and then from that point on it's perfect. So I suspect my experience was tainted by Safari and not by Vimeo.
Yeah.
We watched it. Julia and I both watched it on the laptop. It's the only way we've got.
A bigger screen on the laptop.
Not really, I don't know, 15.
It's quite nice to see, like,
Standard.
together, isn't it? You know.
Well, we had a little table and then, we sat on the sofa with it. It's not that much different. If we put it on the little coffee table right in front of us,
It's not much different to the
it's not much different from, the TV, exactly, 32-inch screen. In the corner
Did it
of the room.
remind you of being young, the 12-inch colour screen?
No, we couldn't have it.
No, we didn't have TVs when I was young.
Yeah. No, I'd 12-inch black and white portable when I was young. It's much better than that. We have watched stuff on it before when something hasn't taped or whatever, we have to watch on or a daily YouTube box. Anyway, it was fine to start with. It was playing alright. It got, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes in, it paused a bit, and took a 30 seconds or a minute or to get going, and then it's fine. It's fine all the way then until about 8 minutes from the end. So it's just getting to the, it's in the exciting bit.
Yeah.
It just froze, and that was it. And it.
You don't really like about the player. It doesn't really give you any indication of what it's doing.
It's doing nothing. It doesn't tell you why it's doing nothing
Yeah.
or what the problem is. And if you refresh it, it goes back to the start.
That's what happened with mine. Mine said,
Yeah.
but the thing is, mine said it started again where I was, like 50 minutes in, but the timer said 0.
No, I just went back to the start. Now, luckily, I checked because I didn't know it was going to go, so I knew exactly where we were.
Yes,
so
yeah.
I skipped to
I
there,
understand.
it played again for another 30 seconds to a minute, and it stopped again. And we had about 4 minutes of the film where we were watching it in 30 seconds.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Worst thing ever.
And that was from the from the car chasey bit to
Did you stream in HD?
no. And then the end. We it sorts itself out and we watched the end, but that just ruined the whole experience. Really, it was so crap. And it was like 10:30 on Sunday night, and I'm going, well, 10:30. You've just come online now. Why is it suddenly? But it's crap, really. I mean, it's the technology. The technology is not as good as it should be because our internet, connection mostly is 3 or 4 megabit. It's fine. If it was buffering it properly, there's no need for that to happen. There's no need with the speed we've got for that to happen.
Yeah, I used
If
to
the
be
buffer ahead, if they did it properly so you couldn't, save it off or whatever they were about, there's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
I had 1.5 megabits max,
Yeah.
and I could stream.
You
SD.
still should be able to stream
I
stuff.
love filming the time Netflix with SD. I wouldn't say it's a problem, but 90% of the time you would run a film without massive issues. So nowadays,
It should.
it just felt a little bit underdeveloped.
Yeah.
Just what I mean. I mean,
I watched it. I watched it in the afternoon on Monday, so probably not a huge high demand time, and it was perfect in full HD the whole time. Didn't get pixelated or artifacts through the whole thing. Never skipped, never paused, never froze. From start to finish, it was perfect. So maybe it's, I don't know, time of day perhaps.
Yeah, I think it must be. No, it's all right. I don't like coffee.
Isn't that the whole point of the Revels, though, Andrew? You've got to take your chances. Be a man.
really just taking the more cheesy ones and these ones, because you know they are.
I also didn't get the Vimeo experience to watch it, but even though I didn't, I really literally saw like the end of it, like the last 5 minutes. I was thoroughly impressed at the ease and the simplicity of watching Microsoft's press conference in my Xbox One. Just, I had to install the app because I hadn't used the live event thing before. That took a few seconds. It was only like 11 meg. Went into it, opened it up, just worked.
I think I've used that.
And I just thought, do you know what? That's what the experience should be like. You know, you get some people that will happily, go through some buffering or, tweak some settings to get it to work. But for your average user, they want to be able to turn it on, go to the live thing, and it works. And that's what it was. And I was really impressed at the clarity, how good it was. Thought, cool, I can watch this. And they said, thanks very much. And I was like, right, so I've missed it entirely.
It should almost be a service like water. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not, obviously, but
Yeah.
it should be. As far as most people are concerned, you're paying for it, you should get it.
Yeah.
It's frustrating when you
It
don't.
did prompt a discussion about upgrading some kind of fibre service between Jinder and I.
To the coffee one.
Because you,
Like having both possible flavour beans.
There it is. So, tech aside, what do you think?
Right. Can I start? Am I allowed to start?
Yeah.
Okay, so for the first 30 minutes, I would say, maybe 35, 40 minutes, magic happened, as far as I'm concerned. I think the filmmakers performed magic. I thought it was just brilliant. It was the perfect, for me anyway, it was the perfect sort of formula. The secret magic formula had been found for making a perfect film for me. I loved the element of discovery. I loved the relationship building. I loved the supernatural element to it. It was amazing, at least for the start, and it continued to be pretty good from then on. But for me, the first 35 minutes or so, might be the best movie watching experience I've had for a very long time.
I will second that.
there's a but coming there.
Well,
Was it not? No.
I think the problem is, the last third, they realised they had to end the film. I could have watched it I could have watched those first 30 minutes for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And as they explore different scenarios, and absolutely fascinating premise. And it's almost as at the end, it's like getting toward, you got a contract to write a book, and you get to page 300, and your book's will be 350 pages, so you've got to rush an end in there. It just felt a little bit, well, not even a little bit. It felt rushed and forced at the end, which was a shame.
I felt for me, it's the only downside to it was that it was a bit sort of kind of Lifetime sort of family mid-afternoon movie kind of made for TV type thing towards the end, where things were getting resolved very conveniently.
Yeah, I think it's like,
Yeah.
let's say it was, in no time he was on a plane. And I was thinking, how has he managed to do that?
Even when the two dudes kind of were about to sort of escort him off to do the heist or whatever the hell they were going to do, he just elbows one in the face, kicks the other out of the car, and drives off.
Yeah.
And while inside I was cheering because I wanted him to get out to see her. At the same time, well, in hindsight, actually, I was thinking, oh well, that was a bit easy.
But that said, I know what you're saying, but if someone elbowed me in the face, I wouldn't get up.
No, it's fair enough. But
You know
you're
what I
not a badass criminal
The
type.
dramatization of certain things.
No.
But yeah, it was just a bit too convenient. The whole escaping the cops by doing a bit of Dukes of Hazzard around the.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that bit didn't work at all. I thought that was the only bit that was out of character, the car chase, unfortunately.
Oh, for us, that bit literally didn't work.
Yeah.
Having not seen, but I will try and watch it. 'Cause it's obviously
No, it's really good.
But just think from somebody who's not seen it and stuff like that, is it because it's an internet only film that that they don't have the budget or the
Well, I don't think it's
No, I don't
really
think so.
well.
because they know that it's just
It's very good. We both really enjoyed it. It's just it's a little bit too nice, and the daytime. Whoever said the daytime afternoon film is it's quite a good description. It starts off. It's a bit like you say. This is a different concept. This is having done before. It's a bit supernatural. It's a bit wars. It's really good how they discover it and all that sort of stuff. And then it just gets a bit formulaic, doesn't it? It just turns into a bit, and it just turns into a little bit of a nice romance film.
Do you know it would make a better TV series than a real film? I think if they kept that premise,
They kept it going.
and that was, and it was just, they didn't have the construct of having to do a start and end in 2 hours. It just painted their relationship over
And in
two
fact,
longer
the
series.
comments I think there's a comment on Vimeo. Somebody said something like it feels more like a pilot for a TV series than except that it couldn't be because
Now you've just resolved
now
it.
it's just resolved. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a shame.
It's a pilot for a TV series with an ending tacked on, almost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder though how far they could take. Where else could they go with that relationship?
They are limited, and it's not something that could go on for like 6 series, isn't it?
No.
Because the ultimate resolution is falling over and going to see you.
Yeah.
Because unless there's something ultimately preventing them seeing each other, then clearly they just as they get see each other.
For example, they could not both speak English.
Yeah.
For example.
No, but then the film would be rubbish.
TV series, and then they let's say it was something slightly odd, like so she was Chinese and he was American.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just an understanding. It was. First of all, I need to understand what the hell this is, and I can't just find out by asking this person.
Yeah.
But why can I see some place I don't recognise and I don't understand? And, just that whole exploration of the premise in it in a slightly different way. And you're
I
right.
actually thought that bit was a little bit too. And I know they've only got whatever it is. I mean, it was about an hour and 3/4, wasn't it? So they only got a length of a film. But I thought that particular bit was a little bit convenient. It seemed to work out immediately that she was like a couple of sentences.
I quite
it's
like
real,
that.
rather than thinking, no, that can't be what's in my head.
I quite liked it because
Not
they sort of backed it up later on by sort of saying things like implying or not implying, more or less stating that subconsciously they knew each other was there the whole time. They talked about it a number of times. So I felt like actually that leap of faith that they took wasn't that extreme because in reality they knew they always had someone with them. They just didn't quite.
Actually, what are you going to do? Because I put myself in that position. What are you going to do if one day you're on your own, there's no one around, and then you start hearing voices in your head? What are you going to do? You're probably going to try and talk back to them, whether you do that in your head or verbally.
But are you not more likely to, and I know I'll take Josh's point about they sort of felt that for a long time, but surely your natural reaction is they are voices in my head.
Yes.
And
given that
you're
you
not
can kind of
going to
see.
take, you're going to take quite a lot of convincing, aren't you, that they're not. voices.
Well,
Yeah.
except it wasn't just a voice. And I know we're getting into the nitty gritty of the detail of the film. It's probably not important, but because they could see what they were seeing, they could feel what they were feeling, they could smell.
You know, the cold there. What's the time? Where
Yeah.
are you? You know,
Yeah.
what you sat down. You know, that all that sort of thing was. Yeah, I thought it was quite natural actually. It was
Yeah, I thought so too.
I thought it was quite good. The sort of things that they were talking about were. The last thing you probably want to do is things that are mental, especially if you've got things that might substantiate the fact that this actually could be real, even though you couldn't explain it. So I thought
That little for me, that little initial dialogue between the two of them was probably my favourite bit of the whole film. I loved it when he asked her what time it was.
yeah,
That was just amazing.
No,
I laughed
there
out
were
loud.
there were some there's a few bits that we laughed out loud. I think that was one of them. You're the future. No, I'm in a different time zone. Oh, he's gone.
yeah, that guy was pretty stupid.
I'm still here.
Which was weird because he had an A minus in his own test. He was a kid. Obviously lost.
Yeah, it wasn't stupid.
Hurrah! Whose idea was it? It was brilliant.
It was my idea because I got emailed about it by Vimeo, but partly because I know people like Joss Whedon, but partly because I thought the idea of watching something on Vimeo and seeing if it works was good. There's one bit I want to say about it, but if Chris is going to watch it, I'll probably better not about something that happens. near the
Okay.
end.
Yeah. I have something else to say about it. We're saying a few negatives about it, but on the whole, I think we'll have to reiterate how much I enjoyed it. And as a movie watching experience, I loved it. And it's only really in hindsight am I sort of picking the holes in it. But I loved the different color palettes. So it was sort of warm, yellow and orange for him, cold and blue for her, and then it got to the point in some scenes, I don't know if you noticed, but when they're connected and they're talking, he's in the bar or something and it's all warm and yellow and golden, but there's some blue in the background of the scene, like a refrigerator or something, and then in the same shot when it goes to her talking, she's all white and blue, but there's like a bedside lamp on or something in the background that's yellow. I thought that was brilliant. I mean, it might be a bit obvious and a bit kind of cliche, but I thought it was really good. And then by the end, the color palette had been was normal. It wasn't blue.
Yeah,
It was just normal. And I just thought that was great.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was just frustrated that more wasn't made of it. Not because let itself down, but because I think it's such a good premise that I think it could be explored more. Really. Yeah.
So something.
That was like teaching the other skills. The bit when she fixes or he fixed her car. I loved that. I loved it. It was great. You know, that guy's trying to sell her a new manifold. He's like, no, hang on, that's not. Yeah.
I just want to talk about the sex scene, right? Because I was so pleased that they put that in, because it would happen. That would definitely happen, and I was pleased that they were brave enough to put it in, because my initial thought was, oh, what if they go there? Well, that could be a bit risky and a bit sort of weird and creepy, but I thought they did it brilliantly, and I'm so pleased that they put it in, because it was important, because it was an obvious thing that would have happened.
Good film. Good film. Well done.
Well done, Andrew, for suggesting it.
No, it's good.
But anyway, yeah.
Did we like the leads, the two people?
They were both very good.
Me too. I will give a thumbs up to them.
I thought they were amazing. I don't really recognise either of them, but I thought they were great.
And all the rest of the acting was great.
Her husband was a tool.
Yeah.
And overly so.
Overly, yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought those two were brilliant.
Jennifer Grey was in it.
What, don't put baby in the corner?
Yeah, that Jennifer Grey.
The one
She
that was the husband, wasn't she?
All right.
Yeah, she was the friend, in inverted commas, at the drawing class.
I don't really recognise her since she had her nose done.
Yeah.
I've not seen what it's called.
They're dancing.
No.
What?
I'm not think they've done. Even though I know that for life, I've actually.
Is that our next Blab movie?
No, I don't think so.
I'm surprised you
Well,
managed to survive, get through life without at least. Oh, go on then.
No, I'm quite pleased with that.
You actively avoided it. You must have done.
No, not really. Not really.
Have you seen Cocktail?
No, I haven't seen Cocktail either. I've seen that.
Oh dear, terrible.
Top Gun.
Well, yes, I have seen Top
Good. I
Gun.
thought I walked out of you Tinder.
I've not. You could argue I've not seen Top Gun properly because I think I've only seen it once.
That's next month.
It was on
This month's homework then.
I might have seen it twice actually. I might have been there. The first time I watched it was on these all-night film things at university, and they had a big screen. It must have been like a projector type thing. I can't remember. It sort of screen flipped up and it must have been a projector. It's obviously quite a long time ago. But basically, it couldn't cope with the film.
Nice.
Whenever the planes came on, the noise or the frequency or whatever of the planes, the whole screen, the whole picture broke up. It's bloody awful.
Tea.
Yeah, normal tea.
Tea for me, please, Andrew. No caffeine.
For you, Jeff, or milk sugar?
Caffeine free for me, please.
Decaf, right. 2 normal, or 3 normals and a decaf. Unleaded.
So there, I think that structure. I mean, we can continue to talk, but I'd just like to say I think that structure works much better.
Yeah, because it's only 3 minutes past 10. And
Yeah.
Limit like.
I reckon we normally spend an hour and a half going around the table.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
This is better.
Too long doing that. All happening too long.
Well, we can now, in our leisure, talk about what we're going to do next time.
So I'll be 40. I turn 40. You're all coming to my party, aren't you?
Whatever. Yeah. We've had to blow out somebody else's 40th party.
Well,
yes,
I'd like to point out it's going to be all your highlights of the month next week.
What are you saying, Griff?
That is fine.
Is it me or is it this 40th birthday stuff just getting a bit boring?
That statement, is it?
Yeah, I think I've had enough of it, actually. Let's not.
Yeah, I mean, some of us already been there, yeah, so what's the big deal?
Quite.
Quite.
So
The highlight of the month actually will be my homebrew, which will be ready for Andy's 40th birthday.
I'm looking forward to that. It's probably not going to win though because I was with Grand Prix. You can probably
No,
guess
it
why
is. No, it's going to be better than the British Grand Prix.
British
It's going to be better than the British Grand Prix.
Of course, we've also got the World Cup. Could we just make the World Cup in general one of the homeworks?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's try. I think what we try interested in just watching the game. Try and watch some of the ancillary shows and stuff, and some of the magazine shows they put on, just to see how. And I also think we should try and make a conscious effort to. Well, you will do actually because they'll split the games, but make sure we watch ITV's coverage and BBC's.
Yeah, and let's have a concerted effort to compare the two.
Ooh.
Actually, make a conscious sort of coverage analysis.
And if possible, I would highly recommend trying to listen to a game on Radio 5 Live as well.
Right. Okay.
Even though your dads used to say this for years, I actually think the radio coverage of football and the commentary is brilliant.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's brilliant. Even though sometimes they do have Danny Mills as a summariser, it's still good.
Well, Danny Mills is fine when you compare him to Andy Townsend.
Andy Townsend.
I actually quite like Robbie Savage. I think he's alright.
You quite like who?
Robbie Savage. When he's on there, I think he's alright.
Right. Yeah, he's okay.
No, I've had
Bit of a muppet.
years and a half. He really does talk a lot of shit. And most of his justification for any of the crap points he makes are, well, I was a professional footballer and you weren't,
Yeah,
Right.
that's the way he justifies everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, I've been there. You'll say in this.
Yes, exactly.
Not
Yeah,
to the World Cup.
So obviously, the people who phone into your 606 show are not going to be ex-professional footballers.
I know. If it gets so tough, he just pulls rank and says, "I was a footballer, you weren't."
Yeah, that's what he does. Or he just talks all over them and shouts.
If you want a bad Radio 5 live experience, because Wimbledon starts in a couple of weeks, there'll be 6 love sticks with John McEnroe. That is terrible. He is terrible.
Is it bad?
Oh, he's terrible.
Is he not?
It's so disjointed.
I quite like John McEnroe. Is he not very good on the
I like
radio?
John McEnroe. I think I think he's good, but when he does 6 love six, he's not brilliant. I find it awkward to listen to sometimes, primarily because he can't pronounce any of the names of people or where they live.
Good.
Yeah. That's very funny.
No.
And then as cricket starting, you should get a bit of 6 duck 6 as well.
Oh my God.
Seriously, they called that.
Yeah, there's 6 duck 6, 6 love 6, 606.
That's really stupid. So, do we have any aside from the World Cup? I'm gonna put the World Cup and World Cup coverage, well kept coverage, as one of the homeworks. Seeing as that's going to be a default thing anyway.
Can I propose a question of the week?
Yes.
Mum, I'll get that right one time. Can I ask, what is the film you have watched the most?
I can answer that now.
No, don't. So can I. So can most people. But
Collect
it will
all right.
generate discussion.
I'm just about to pour a cup of decaf tea into Andy's MacBook. Okay, you ready?
Okay, I'm ready. Amazing.
I quite like the idea.
No,
Because I'm hoping it won't just be dirty dancing for you, Griff. You might say it's probably this, it could be this, and then there'll be some discussion as to why.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know about you, but mine will cover a period of time of about 2 or 3 years, and I watched a lot of films in that time. A lot of the same films over and over again.
it was the same film. That's why you've watched it so many times.
No,
I'm actually not sure.
there you go. I'll think about it. I think it's quite a nice.
Right. Okay, so I have got a suggestion for a film.
Smart because.
Okay, so the film I want to suggest is Under the Skin. It's a new film. It stars your favourite Andy Scarlett Johansson.
Mm.
Oh, yes.
And it is available for digital download. I'm assuming this is in the UK. It's difficult to find out. I'm on the undertheskinmovie.com website on my phone. It is available, according to this, for digital download on the 24th of June. And I've heard really interesting things about it. It's I would really.
Is that just digital download? Like you download it, you watch it. It's not. You need to be on Netflix or.
No, I think you can buy it for digital download on
Right.
Amazon or iTunes. I think. Let me have a look.
I've not seen the film, don't know the premise of it, but if any of you feel you were let down by Scarlett Johansson, I would just recommend watching Captain America: First Avenger, where she spends most of the film in a jumpsuit, and
Right.
it will your face.
There you go.
Yeah.
You
No,
can't check my phone. It's got
Okay, so
like.
what?
I don't find her that attractive, but she's probably the sexiest woman in the world.
If you watch
I
Captain
still
America,
can't pass it. It didn't make any sense to me.
if you watch
I sort of know what you mean.
if you watch Captain America: Winter Soldier, you will change your mind.
No,
She's not classically beautiful, which is very
oh, man.
personal about her.
I keep going back to Vicky Cristina Barcelona, which is I love that film. It is stupid. It is.
Woody Allen.
No, but it's you like Woody Allen.
No.
It's really good. And her and Rebecca Hall, who's another hot.
I wasn't that keen on Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
She's a bit normal, but in that film, they have some kind of crazy spell over me. Those girls and them.
Right. So can we, if indeed it proves that it is available for digital download on the 24th of June, can we put that
Under the Skin?
Under the Skin? It's called. Just check it out. Griff, get on your iPad and go to undertheskinmovie.com.
Two friends go on holiday. Might be traveling.
I didn't really like it. Sorry, Andy.
So,
I know.
you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't quite know how the digital download works, but
Well, I'm keen to watch it.
I want to see Chef. Chef. It's a John Favreau film.
what's it called?
Not the
Chef.
not the series with Lenny Henry.
No, not that one. I'm sure it's very similar. But Scarlett Johansson's also in that. Working in this food truck, bending over. No.
So as I understand it, the premise of Under the Skin is that she is an alien come to Earth, and for some reason she's in Scotland, don't know why, and she, I think, seduces men and kills them. For some reason, I don't know what the reason is. But what I've heard about it, and again, without knowing too much about it, but what I've heard about it is that a lot of the scenes were shot with members of the public not realizing they were being filmed. And it was just her doing what was roughly in the script and sort of improvising as she went along. And it sounds fascinating.
What do you care?
But I still urge you to watch her in Captain America, Winter Soldier. Because you're not interested in a kind of jumpsuit / catsuit. Kind of, he's quite flexible in it as well.
That's the reason I used to like. Why can't I think of anything at the moment? What was that stupid film with?
Catwoman?
No.
Come on.
Rubbish. It's not. It's all right. Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Entrapment.
I know the bit he's on about. It's the bit where Catherine Zeta-Jones goes under the
That's the best.
the laser.
I watched that film a lot. Most of my life. Seen that film? Right.
I don't know. This is a suggestion.
I watched more films since we started Blab than in about 10 years before.
It's a suggestion, maybe not for homework this time, but to bear in mind for the future. And it would involve a Blab outing. Whether we go and watch National Theatre Live one time, in the cinema.
Oh, get you.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, basically, a lot of the West End plays and stuff, they sometimes simultaneously broadcast them into cinema, so you can go and watch them at the cinema.
I
They
see.
do it with Odeon and Bath, and well, just a thought,
Yeah.
There's a film I'm going to watch. I am going to see when it's out very soon. Jersey Boys.
I'm going to
Have you
see
seen
that.
that?
as well.
No, it's a musical, based on a West End show.
Let us know when you go.
Sorry, advertised. Frankie Valli, isn't it?
Yes,
It's about.
Yeah. Started by Clint Eastwood. For a start.
Yeah, but it's
Clint
basically
Eastwood.
a West End show.
I thought you'd say a Western.
No, it's a
I
West
don't
End
think
show.
so.
Or a Broadway show.
I took Pete to go see the show.
Rather than what's growth off of the Bristol.
Would you?
Yeah.
You probably reconsider that. I'm going to go watch that when it's out in a couple of weeks. This week. There's another film I want to see. That's a fascinating topic of conversation, isn't it? Tom Cruise film, new one.
Oh yeah. Crap. I can't remember what it's called. He wears an endoskeleton or something.
Yes, he does. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll get there in a sec. So are we? Are we on board with that?
Yeah, we're definitely on board with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, I'm almost on board as far as volunteering to be seduced and killed. You know, I mean,
So over here,
it's a way to go. I don't mean Scotland. I mean, you know, it's a.
I'd even go to Scotland. I probably would travel to Scotland if there's a chance.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, so the Tom Cruise film is called Edge of Tomorrow.
There we go.
Worst name ever.
Which is an, oh, yeah, I thought that. They're advertising on the radio. And I thought that is just a shit name. Even if the film's good. Edge of Tomorrow is a shit name.
So Andrea Renee went to see it. I saw a tweet. And
Yeah.
I don't think it was a premiere or anything. She just went to see it, and she lives in Los Angeles. And at the end of the movie, Tom Cruise came out onto the stage in front of the screen. No pre-warning or anything. Just there he is.
That's quite funny.
Tom Cruise.
So it looks like Under the Skin will be available from iTunes on the 24th of June. Is that a big deal for anybody?
What?
I've never used iTunes. Presumably you can just
Yeah.
download movies and watch them.
You have it installed.
No.
No.
It's not installing iTunes or anything on there. No, actually, no. I'm not installing Julia's iPad.
That's a.
You won't have to install it because it will be on.
We're
We're saving you a bit of hassle.
That's unfortunate that you actually have to install iTunes.
Does it take over your PC?
That's not as bad as it used to be. Nothing like as bad as it used to be.
No.
Um,
Just buy an iPad instead, then you don't have to install it.
just put it on Marlon's iPad or something.
Yeah, I'll watch it on Julia's iPad.
That's true. Could do that.
Andrew, why did you take my iPad into the toilet? No, he's got the
I
answer.
always have my iPad. It's a great film.
So, next month's Blab. Which one have you watched the most? Under the Skin.
I've watched it 46 times.
Last month. Yeah.
Oh dear, that's very funny. So we've got one thing for next month. We need another one.
Well, we've got the World Cup.
That's true.
World Cup average.
There's World Cup and then the Skin.
So there's a game that Jeff Kanata just absolutely raved about on the latest DLC that I listened to. It's called A Story About My Uncle. Have you listened to that DLC, Andy?
I heard him mention it, but maybe that was in. I've skipped over a few and listened to the E3 ones.
Oh right, yeah. It was in the one before the E3.
Okay, so no, I don't know anything about it.
So I mean, he just raved about it. Like he said, it's definitely Game of the Year contender easily right now. He described it as a cross between Mirror's Edge and Portal, and I can't remember what else he said. He just said it was the best thing. It's available on Steam for like a tenner or something. First-person action traversal parkour, leaping from thing to thing with a. He called it a Spider-Man simulator.
Was it called A Story About My Uncle?
A Story About My Uncle, worst title ever. They made a point to. Yeah, they made a point to say that how terrible the name is.
Though we're not going to be able to play it or do anything, I did see on GameSpot that there's a Assassin's Creed parkour free running game set in Middle Earth being released.
No, there is. What's it called?
I'm just going to have a look. It's just when you said parkour, it just got me.
Oh, I can imagine that Andrew is salivating over the thought of a parkour game set in Middle Earth.
You're pretty close, yeah. I thought you said retching rather than salivating. These have been pretty much spot on.
All right. Well, look, I'm happy with just those two things. Plus, we've got the question. Plus, we'll have highlight of the month.
Yeah.
That's really not a bad shout because it's the World Cup. So even though it's on quite late, we could all be caught up watching that quite a lot. So
yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Time this month is to watch. No one's going to do it apart from me. Live streaming from the E3 show in Los Angeles as we speak.
The Middle Earth Shadows of Mordor.
I know the
No, that's what it's called.
E3 is the Electronic Entertainment Expo. It's the premier show worldwide for video games exposition.
You'll be quite shocked and stunned to hear that had passed by.
Day 2 of the show floor being over.
That'll be why.
It's open for the
Yeah.
Well, obviously, what we need to do in whenever it's September, October time, is go on to the Eurogamer
I did
Expo.
look at tickets today, actually.
I love to actually, but I'm unfortunately busy. Yeah.
Jess, do you want to go to the Eurogamer again?
When is it?
This September sometime?
I'll have a look.
26?
Yes, I would like to go again.
Do you think we can get tickets from Tomo?
Oh yes, I forgot that's where we got tickets from. I will ask him.
You see if you can get us an upgrade this time, so we can get some like.
There's no swag there, really.
He gave a couple of us the good tickets anyway.
But we've only got press bands, and we've got you nothing.
2 of you did.
It made no difference at all.
It's the 25th to the 28th of September. All jokes aside, if you speak to Mona, we might be able to go in one of the press days.
Well, anyway, so it might be worth a note because I did look for the tickets today, and most of them, the early admission ones, are sold out already.
Right. Okay, I suspect it'll be all right. Oh,
but you know,
my lady wife is home. Yeah, I'll see what he says.
Your lady wife.
Yeah,
She's
she's
in Marla.
All right.
Turned 4. It's my Twitterversary. Apparently. There you go.
So the World Cup final is July the 13th. Shall we make sure that our next Blab is after the World Cup has finished?
After the World Cup.
Hello. I'm nearly done. What do we think? Should we go back to? Should we try Thursday, July 17th? Oh,
Sorry for me.
Marla's making a noise as if that might not work for her. Well, we can always change it if we need to. Good to get something.
Well,
in the area.
Yeah, we could just say 17, shall we?
Or we can have it here, of course.
Yeah, I need it where it is.
Let's just put it down.
Okay.
For now. And Marla says, "Oh, she's here," so that even means we might be able to. I might be able to travel again. Okay, so yeah, is that seemingly okay? Thursday, July 17th.
I'm pretty sure it's okay, but I don't know if I'm in Hatfield. Either the Wednesday and the Tuesday, or the Wednesday and the Thursday.
We could do it in Hatfield.
No.
Nice.
Hey, let's not.
Well, look, let's pencil it in at least, and if it needs to change, then we can.
Just part of me is thinking. That I'm not here. That's quite funny. It appears that the update to my phone to 8.1, Microsoft have put the Xbox E3 briefing into my calendar.
That's brilliant. Why would
They've put the E3 briefing into. Oh yeah, I did that as well. Oh,
No, I didn't put it in.
Andy, did you do it? Did you make a Facebook Facebook group or something?
Oh no, Griff. It might be the Google.
I might be Blab.
Yeah, it'd be the Google event I created.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I was about to accuse you of putting Google words in someone's calendar.
Its venue is everywhere. I've noticed.
Yes. I thought that was quite cool. I thought my phone, Windows phone, would automatically put in an Xbox event. No.
Did you get a choice? Did you?
No, because.
If I just put, for example, if I put a calendar.
No, I've got two calendar.
If I put a Google event in, say, go to gay bar, right, and invited you, right, would it just appear on your calendar?
Yes, it would. It would appear on mine also if you invited me.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, because you synchronise it with a certain calendar or certain accounts, don't you?
But I think you can specify whether you want it to show only events that you have accepted the invitation to, or whether you accept
Because
all.
I was tentative to this one, so that might be why I put it there.
You might also be tentative about visiting the gay bar as well, Griff.
I'll decline that one.
Although, to be honest, you start getting invites from me to go visit a gay bar. You're not allowed to accept mine.
Truly, no.
Not after last.
No, okay. So, but my
Yeah.
the Xbox E3 briefing that's in my calendar, I have not responded to it at all. I didn't go onto Google and accept or hit a maybe or anything. It just appeared in my calendar. So you could invite me to all sorts of things.
I'll try it. I won't.
That's quite funny.
Um,
Good. Is that it? Are we all done?
So what are we doing? We're watching a film, we're playing a game, and a question about the World Cup.
I
That's
don't
it.
think we'll play a game, right? Unless you want to.
We're not playing. it.
No, we're watching the World Cup.
Yeah.
And we're comparing coverage, BBC and ITV and what have you.
Yeah.
We're hopefully watching Under the Skin, and we've got a question about what is the film we've watched the most, and that's it. And that's it. That's all we got.
Cool.
Highlights of the month.
Highlight of the month.
Yeah. And honourable mentions.
Good.
Is that enough, or do you want more, Andrew?
No, that's good. As Griff said, it is the World Cup.
Yeah.
Some people might be watching it.
Actually, he's going to love that.
What's the World Cup?
Yeah.
Your assignment is to watch a month of football. So he won't watch a minute of it.
The timings of the games are brilliant, by the way.
Yes, check.
Just get home from work and you can just watch football all night.
Yes, check your email. I've just invited you. Well, I haven't invited you, but I've just put the World Cup in my calendar and invited you to it for the final.
Right.
You see,
Okay. So what do you want me to check? My calendar?
He's invited you to the World Cup final.
Wow, that's good.
That's a binding contract.
Yeah.
You owe him £7,000.
Wait, what is it you want me to check? My calendar or my email?
it might be the email. So you,
Calendar, I guess. Isn't it?
Well, I think it refreshes or it synchronizes every 2 hours or something. So and I don't have a synchronize option.
but just to see if it does kind of update your phone, really.
Yeah, it probably will. I know I can do. Oh yeah, Rob Griffiths, World Cup has been updated.
Did you do that on your Microsoft calendar?
Did it on my Google calendar.
So I can invite you to all manner of bizarre...
So if I go to my accounts, I can synchronize my Google thing. Sync. All right, syncing now. And so what, to the final, Griff? So the 13th?
Yeah.
No, it's not there yet.
Okay, I didn't know if it would work or not.
Well, I'll let you know in the morning if it pops up.
Hey, Jess, did you see the Halo thing?
No, I haven't kept up with any of the E3 stuff. I've been so busy.
This November, the
Yeah.
Halo Master Chief Collection has come out on Xbox One.
What is that?
It is Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4 on one disc for Xbox One, with Halo 2's multiplayer, and Halo 2 has the kind of anniversary edition stuff done to it. So it's all, I mean, the whole thing's up-resed.
Bloody hell.
The only thing I saw on it was all Halos with every single piece of DLC.
Yeah, and every single multiplayer map.
Something like 236.
It's crazy. Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Crazy.
Using the original engines as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and,
Bloody hell.
it's mental.
Was that like a massive announcement at E3? Did everybody just go bonkers?
Oh, and you also get part of the Halo 5 beta as well.
Because I know there was a video of Master Chief riding a rocket.
Well, that was Halo 5.
Yeah, that's
So, yeah.
because there are rumours in Halo 5 that you can play Spartan,
Yeah.
and that Master Chief's gone a little bit off the rails.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
So like,
Yeah, the
The Chief's cool.
he is.
Yeah, it's that looks. It was. I think there'd been a rumor that it was going to happen at some point. Principally, because Microsoft has been pretty open about the fact that Halo 5 wasn't going to come out next year.
Yeah.
But they'd also already committed to some Halo release of some sort in 2014. So, so kind of didn't take too much to figure out what that would be. But,
Yeah. Very cool.
yeah.
Good. All right, Taps. Listen, I'm going to have to skedaddle, I think. But thanks very much. Thanks for hosting, Andrew.
Oh, you're welcome. It was nice to have you over, James.
Thanks for the tea.
Anytime.
All right, so see you around, kids, and see you next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later.
Yes, sir.